I thought Moxie was just grit with lipstick, and it's not. Here's what I didn't understand until I lived it. So, when I first heard the word Moxie, which, by the way, I think is a really cool word, I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. I thought it meant standing up for your rights. Maybe with like a cute outfit and some sass thrown in. You know, like a confident girl with her chin up and her eyeliner sharp. But I was wrong. Because what I thought was Moxie was actually just grit and a glitter jacket. And the real Moxie, well, that didn't show up until life knocked me down more than once. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Grit versus Moxie. Let's get something straight because I think that this is happening a lot. People interchange those words. And grit and Moxie are not the same thing. Grit, like we discussed in the past, is the courage to try something that scares you. It's the moment that you raise your hand or speak up or you take that shot, you know? Moxie is what happens after you miss the shot. It's getting back up and it's saying, I still believe in me, even when it didn't work. And Moxie is not a vibe. It's not a performance. It is just persistence, rooted in identity, in your identity, being true to yourself. So grit pushes through fear, but Moxie pushes through failure, being yourself along the way. Because I think Moxie is misunderstood. So let's go ahead and talk about that lipstick version. We see Moxie in movies and media as this bold, quirky, unstoppable girl who shakes things up. You know, the one that throws the paint on the walls and never doubts herself. And of course, she's cute and clever, and she always has that perfect comeback. There was a movie made, I think, a year or two ago by Amy Poehler called Moxie, and she did a pretty good job at bringing attention to female empowerment. But that even leaned into the aesthetic, like the protest posters, the girl gang, the makeover movement. What it didn't show, well, I don't think it showed the lonely part. You know, that messy middle, the doubt, the getting back up without applause. So real Moxie, it isn't loud. It's not always cute. Matter of fact, it's seldom cute. And it's not a trend. Real Moxie is the time where you're sitting alone after the rally, or you're crying in the car and you still show up the next day. So lipstick Moxie, well, yeah, it looks great in a screenshot, but raw Moxie, that's lived. It's quiet and sometimes invisible to everyone but you. So what I didn't understand about Moxie until I lived it. I mean, I used to think that if I looked strong, then I was strong. You know, fake it till you make it. But it's not true. I thought Moxie meant not being bothered, not breaking down. But here's what I've learned. Moxie is what kicks in after the break, after the mess up, after you lose face or get embarrassed or fail publicly, and you decide to keep going anyway. That's Moxie. It's not confidence with eyeliner. It's I'm still here, even if nobody's clapping. And my Moxie, well, my Moxie is now. I'm showing up with grit while building my Moxie muscle here. I recently closed a business that was growing and it really had great potential. It was doing really well. But I realized that I'm at a point in my life where I want something that's just more meaningful to me. And although I enjoyed that business, it just wasn't meaningful. So here I am, building my Moxie muscle through doing research and creating a recipe for confidence, writing a book and creating the Confidence Project here on YouTube. And I got to tell you, it's not always easy, but it's worth it. I can feel my Moxie muscle getting bigger. Well, the side effects, well, a lot of times I have doubt, like views are low, and I'm pretty sad thinking that my message might not get out. And I feel like a failure when nobody buys my book and wants to learn my recipe for confidence. But with it, I know that that's part of it, that Moxie is part of that. And I just want to share my experience and knowledge that I've learned over the 60 years, what girls, I hope, will take advantage of and learn. Because I always believe that a smart girl learns from her mistakes. Well, a wise girl learns from others' mistakes. And these moments are Moxie in motion, with or without lipstick. So, what are the signs that you've got Moxie? You think you don't have Moxie? Well, let me go ahead and challenge that. You've got Moxie if you failed and you still tried again. That's Moxie. You got Moxie if you felt overlooked, but you still kept showing up. And you've got Moxie if you've made decisions that others they don't understand, but you knew it was right for you. And you got Moxie when you've walked away from something that wasn't aligned with who you are. Moxie doesn't mean you're fearless. It just means you keep going in alignment with your truth, even when nobody notices. It's not about being loud, and it's about being unshakable. So, no, Moxie isn't grit with lipstick. It's not an aesthetic. It's not a trend. And it's not reserved for girls who speak the loudest. It's endurance. It is belief in motion. It's the quiet decision to keep going again and again and again. And it's the second ingredient in my book, Mixture Arise, a girl's recipe for confidence that grows with her. First comes the grit, then comes Moxie, and that's when the confidence really starts to rise. And if this hit home for you, comment below with a moment where you showed Moxie, especially when nobody else saw it.